I'm Miss Tehreem. I will help you in your pre-algebra pre-calculus course. Today we will learn how to identify functions by looking at the graph. So let's start with what is a function? A function assigns only one output y value to each input x value. So what is a function that assigns only one output or one y value to each input or each x value? So how to determine if a graph is a function or not? We will use vertical line test to determine if the graph is a function or not. So if you can draw a vertical line on the graph that crosses or touches the graph at more than one point, then graph does not represent a function. If you can draw a vertical line that crosses or touches the graph at more than one point, then graph does not represent a function. Let's observe this thing. I have the graph over here and I'm using my pen. So this is a graph which is laid in the blue line. I'm just rewriting on the red line. If I draw a line over here, it touches the graph at 2 points. So if we draw a vertical line and it touches the graph at 2 points, it means it fails vertical line test, so it's not a function. Now let's move to another graph. This is a graph. This is a graph. This is a graph, and I will use red. I will draw a vertical line anywhere on the graph. When I draw a vertical line on the graph, it touches the graph at only one point. It does not touches the graph in more than 1 points. So this graph is a function because it passes vertical line test. Let's practice about the more graphs. So function is something for each x value we have only one and only one y value. So for each input we have only one output. For each input there is one output. So this is a function. Okay, now let's do the vertical line test. If I put a vertical line, it touches the graph at 2 points. So if a vertical line touches the graph at more than 1 point, it is not a function. Okay, so is this a function? For a function, there should be only one output for every input. For each input, there should be one output, but here there are two outputs for one input. Input is one, but the outputs are two, so it's not a function. I have another graph. Let's draw vertical lines. Vertical line touches only 1 point on the graph, so yes, it is a function. Okay, for this graph, let's draw the vertical line. it touches this line. This line is touching this point of the graph. This point is not included in the graph. So whenever we draw a vertical line, it touches the graph at only one point. So it means yes, it is a function. Okay. Now, as I said that for each output, there should be only one input value, but there is two outputs for one input value, so it is not a function. Okay, let's draw a vertical line. It touches the graph at 2 points, so fails vertical line test, not a function. Okay, so now for each input there is only one output, so yes, it is a function. Okay, so the last one is 0 is corresponds to -3, 2 to 0, 4 to 3, 6 to 0, 8 to 3. So for each input there should be only one output, but for 0 the output is -3. For 8 output is again -3. So for two inputs there is one output, which is not possible, so not a function. Hope you understand. I tailor my lectures by giving you the complete concept and giving you a lot of practice exercises. Hope you understand and come to me for more one-on-one sessions.